Alright, so I have an idea. What if everyone had money? And every 30 days, you had to work for what you had. Whether it's your car, money, or anything that you had. What would people do if we already had money? The governments give you your cars, your houses, and everything, and that'll be it. What if the world already had money? There was no poverty, it was already maxed out. What would we do with our lives then? Paying it forward will be non-existent. And people will probably have what they want. What if the world had what it already needed? Let's ask some people. How do you feel about paying it forward?
I don't know. I don't believe in magical thinking or karma or that kind of thing.
Okay.
I don't buy it.
Alright, so how do you feel about if the government was to pay it forward? How would you feel about that?
I mean, that's a different concept, though. The government should be doing things, I don't know, what in advance, or, the government should be doing lots of things for people anyway. So I guess if that concept, it doesn't work. Like, pay it forward is some sort of like karma concept for individuals. The government is a different animal, and yes, should be doing lots of things in advance. No question.
So you think that, for example, if the government actually gave you, they came to you and said, Christopher, here, we'll give you a house, we'll give you a car, whatever you wanted. And all you had to do was give us about 230 days of your work. Every day, except for weekends, we'll give you a house paid off. You don't have to pay nothing. That's when the paying full comes, the paying forward. The government comes to you, Christopher, if you work for us for 36 days, non-stop, you get to go home, you get to sleep or whatever, see your family. But if you go away on a trip and work as a construction worker, and we'll give you a house, how would you feel about that? How would you feel if the world had everything it needed? If you had all the money in the world, if each person in this earth had $1 billion in their bank account, and there was no more poverty, no more paying it forward would be non-existent, how would you feel about that?
Well, that sounds great, sure. That sounds lovely. But, yeah, I mean, what you're describing is the government has given people houses and education and things like that in the past, and that's why we had a solid middle class in the middle of the 20th century. When we have the GI programs and Levitt towns and things like that. I mean, these kinds of massive scale government programs are the reason why America is the most wealthy and strongest country in the world. No question. Sure, the government should do more things like that.
Do you think that it's fair that the government has power to control people? Do you think?
Of course. I believe in the rule of man. The rule of law, rather, above the rule of men. Of course, the government. We all cede power to the government on purpose, for good reason, so that we have an orderly society. Yes, the government should have a lot of control over everyone.
So, do you believe in God?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. You're atheist.
Evangelical atheists. I've got the good news, and it's that Jesus Christ does not exist ever. Anyway.
Okay, you're first. But so you believe? What do you believe in actually with the government? How do you feel about the government? Cutting welfare, and how do you feel about the deficit and all that?
I think deficit games it's very clear that games about the deficit are just a Republican tactic to cause us to not do the things that we should be doing, and I think it's totally wrong, and I don't think that there's any, it doesn't add up at all. The government doesn't need to pay debts in the way that a household needs to pay debts. And by taking debt on, the government leverages a great deal of power that it should ultimately have. If we have a problem with debts, we have plenty of billionaires in this country that can pay it off immediately. And they have no reason to have that money. They have no reason.
Well, do you feel bad about the 99%?
I feel bad that the 1% exists. The 99% is unfortunate, of course, that most people have to live a certain way just so that other people can live another way. There's an article in the New York Times Magazine just recently about, the new books about high frequency trading. And they were saying, one of these Wall Street executives, I don't care which one, because they all essentially are the same, said, I don't just like to fly in first class, I want to know that my friends are flying in coach. I think these people don't just want more money, they want to know that everyone else has less. Most people have to live a certain way just so that other people can live another way. And that's sickening.
Okay. So since you don't believe in God, then what authority do you believe in?
I mean, I already talked about, governmental authority, sure. The idea that society as a whole can come together and have collective beliefs and values and things like that we all argue about in a democratic way that should limit, that kind of authority is fine. It's an authority that each of us give to a central power and, we submit ourselves to it. I don't believe in God because I don't believe in magic. I don't believe that it doesn't pan out. There is no evidence for it, and there will never be evidence for it, no matter how long people sit around waiting.
Okay. All right. Well, it's good to know that you support paying it forward, because that's what this documentary is about.
I don't think it's a Christian thing. I mean, sure, it's great that some Christians have this belief. There are lots of Christians that have many other horrible, hateful beliefs that, I don't think it's about Christianity. It's about simple human decency. Whether you believe in God or what God you believe in, I don't care. I think we should all believe that everyone should be treated fairly and have equal opportunity in life. Not just opportunity, but, because that's America's favorite thing, equal opportunity. Good luck. Go and get it. The game is rigged against you. No, we should have equal access to a lot of the wealth that the country has.
I like that, man. Shoot.
Well, maybe you can agree with.
Last question. Last question, because I know you gotta go.
Oh,
last question.
Sitting in the park today.
If you can change anything about the government, what would it be?
Oh, the two-party system is the worst. It's the worst thing on the planet.
Democrats and Republicans.
Nobody wants. Yeah, we should just outlaw parties altogether.
Exactly.
No parties.
It just should be one person.
We should
not
have
even
20
one
or
person.
50 parties. I mean, not one. We should
It should
have
be the
many
people.
more
The
parties.
people should make the decisions.
Sure, but I mean, you're never. I mean, I'll never side with a Republican on probably any issue. There may be two, but and the Democrats, as often as I agree with them, they're very disappointing. But they're kind of stuck in this way. You should have 6, 8, 12, 15 parties.
Okay. All right. Thank you for your time.
Paying forward.